Coffee Blaps again. I'm going to be doing a roundup of the 1 minute Wing Chun videos that I've put out so far. I do 5 each week, and it won't be, I tried to do it technically correct, followed all the procedures, obviously didn't do it properly because it failed. I failed, but we learn from our failure. And so, have we truly failed? There you go. Wisdom already. So, I'll be... Oh, wow. Oh, people are messaging me already about it coming in. Okay, cool. Excellent. Yes, so every week I do these. On weekdays, I do these videos. 1 minute Wing Chun, I call them, and I touch on an aspect of warriorship. How it is to walk as a warrior. What it is to be a functioning martial artist, as a person that is supposed to be in control of themselves, in control of their environment, the people around them, to an extent, I suppose. In fact, that you can inspire people, I suppose, that kind of control. And, you put out your image. And also how to basically be safe, to be secure, to be personally confident that if there was trouble, you're ready for it. So, the videos I'll be covering are number 6, the myths of Wing Chun. Number 7, you're using your Tan Sao wrong. Number 8, which is you're doing your Chi Sao wrong. Doing a lot wrong. 9, remember to breathe. And 10, kicks that work. So I will start on number 6. I'm only going to take a few minutes on each one. The first time I did this, it lasted an hour. Kind of went into my history, got carried away with it. You know how you do. And end up being an hour because, I don't know. I want to explain a lot of stuff why I'm doing these videos for instance. And so it got a lot out of me. It's very good for me, but I'm not sure if it's great for the streaming. But again, the technically fail happened, and it didn't get recorded, so I had to do it all again. I was making a big decision. I'll do it all again, and it took about 25 minutes the next time. Yeah, 20 minutes actually. So I was like very unchuffed about that. So I said the next time I'm going to get it technically right, so I could take my time, knowing that I'm going to get it all out, but in my own sweet time. So Myths of Wing Chun was about, and I'm going to insert the video. If I ever learn to edit, my daughter's the editor, but if I ever learn to edit a video, I'm going to insert the videos and make it all sprandabliocious or whatever it is. Spontifilious, I can't remember. Right, so the myths of Wing Chun are usually about, what I was trying to say in that video was, your myth is that Yin Wing Chun learnt from Yin Moi and learnt the fastest techniques from the 5 boxing forms that she knew, and became very proficient in very short periods of time, trained to overcome a marauder, a bully, so she could marry her lover, Lumbuk Choi, I think it is. And so happy ever after, and now the system's there. But what you're supposed to take from that is no matter if it's a true story or not, it's a woman that we're talking about. And so therefore they're not huge people. Physically, not huge people. And especially if we think about 400 years, 400 years ago, the nutritional value of the food that they were ingesting, they would be smaller. They would be smaller people. Not that much smaller, but take into account. Also, that she's going up against people that have been training for a long period of time. Not much is known about her own training, but she was proficient, put it that way, in handling herself. But this particular problem needed something more sophisticated to overcome. Basically, she's going up against people that are going to be larger than her, trained, strong, possibly faster, probably faster, and more comfortable with giving out pain. They're not going to hold back because it's a woman. So, knowing that, you have to put yourself in her shoes and say to yourself, when I accept energy from anyone, I'm not going to try and, because this was my main problem going into Wing Chun, was I came from Shotokan karate that I've been doing for about 5 years at that point. And I was very strong, very, I was a huge person. I was 15, 16 stone back then. And pure muscle, all muscle, just athletic, doing athletics, rugby, football. I was at it. I was doing everything. Very physical person back then, very angry physical person. And I loved my strength because it's judo first. Love throwing people around, love picking people up off their feet and throwing them backwards and stuff like that. And I came to karate, and it was all about putting all your energy into that strike and becoming that strike in entirety. And then it was Wing Chun, deflect, move away, encompass, cultivate, be soft but firm when you're striking, and blah blah blah. It's like, what kind of world is this? And then I came to the classes looking at smaller people dealing with larger people all the time. I got schooled the literal minute I walked into the door to learn for the first time by my Sifu. And it was so nonchalant to him how he dealt with my power that I was like, I've got to learn this before someone does it on me. Before someone out there that doesn't like me, that I pick on because I'm an angry man. I pick on the wrong guy and they know this stuff and they make me look ridiculous in the street. That was a big worry of mine back then. Okay, so this had been going on for quite a long time. And the learning of it. And I was beginning to see that it's the technique and the turning and the watching the opponent and the timing that is getting me on the floor and making me overreach and making me do too much. Okay, and Wing Chun is like, please rush me faster, come at me, come at me, bro. they want you to overindulge in your ferocity. And so it's easy for Wing Chun people to deal with that kind of energy, because then they can make you do silly things and make you open up and all that kind of stuff. So it's like hitting wind. It's like hitting a puff of air. It's just not gonna. It's not gonna be there, and you can think you're fast, but because we are, Wing Chun people are trained to watch the body, watch the energy, feel the energy. The thought is faster than the action. So we're literally reacting to the energy. We're not thinking about what we're going to do. We're literally reacting to the energy, and therefore destroyed. And that's why you should think, when you're thinking about the myth of Wing Chun, rather than say, oh, she was very skilled at what she did, so that's why she was able to overcome. Think about it more of a physical thing where it's a lady overcoming larger, terrifying people. And so therefore, do your Wing Chun like that. If you're using strength, if you're using a lot of effort, you're doing your Wing Chun wrong. Okay, that's all I have to say on that. Number 2 is, number 7. Sorry, my bad. Number 2 today, but number 7 was you're using your Tan Sao wrong. A lot of people, your Tan Sao is, covering your center line and reaching out towards your opponent to gain contact. Inquisitive arm, as we call it in Wing Chun. So it's a lot of people poke it out there, and that's because you're of a lower level. You're on the basics, you're a novice, you're learning elementary techniques, you're not really advanced yet, you haven't had enough fights, you don't know what you're doing. So you've learned it in Wing Chun, you've done it for about a year, and all your sparring starts in stance, Yi Chi Kin Ma, and then, Bu Sao, Bu Ma, and we're moving forward, we're thrusting forward. Yeah, we're trying to gain space, Chum Q, in the brain, seat the bridge, and cut down the space between you and opponent. Sometimes you can wait and let people come at you, and that will break down the space for you. You don't have to rush into things. But what I'm saying to you is that don't stretch out your arm so much. Okay, just have them up, covering your brain. If you got a chance, if you know that you're in a fight, it's obvious you're in a fight. If you're in the speaking stage, then you got a chance to move around. But your arms should be up by your chin. Even if you're just thinking about, just thinking about this guy might attack me. You shouldn't have your arms by your side, joint your chin out, doing the stereotypical "I'm ready to have you, mate" stance. You should be ready. Okay, this hand is by your chin, and there's your guard. There's your guard. You could be just chatting like, and there's your tan there, right there. You can deflect all you want from there, and you got a chance to get whatever's in your way out of the way to clear for a strike, whatever you want to do. So people reaching out for the opponent, people just go right around that. And because you've got your arm out and you're pushing your arm out, to keep it taut, so you can take some licks, it's gonna get slapped into your face. Okay, even if you have your hand here, like you're ready, and it gets contacted and you start pushing, it's going to be in your face. So you have to put your Tan Sao out. And so if you stop here, you've got time to turn it into a bong or to turn it to something else if they collapse it through strength. But if you just were waiting to parry, you don't have to worry about that strength. If you're worried about going into the opponent, rather than just waiting and pushing your arm out. If you go into the opponent's center, then you cultivate their center of gravity as well, and their ability to give you efficient strikes. So cut down the space, go inside, make your incisive movement very strong and into the point where it's coming from, not at this point where the power is. this point where it starts from. That's where you want to go into. You want to go into like the elbow, bicep, and that's where your arm should be going. Okay, and always think about what you're hitting rather than what you're going to block. Because if you're thinking about what you're going to block, then your mind is focused on hands, and you start chasing hands. Oh, I've got to control all these things going on in front of me, and it's too fast for your eyes. So you're going to get hit that way. So just concentrate on hitting what's not moving. This goes on, all the hands are moving, but my head's still here. I could be doing this and the other, but my head's still here. So concentrate on that. Concentrate on wham, get into that switch off mode. Get that brain going into switch off mode. I think that's kind of covered what I was trying to say on that video. So I'm going to leave it there. Right. What's next? Number 8. You're doing your chi sao wrong. There. This one's gonna really. This one, I know that when I did this one, if as I again, as these get out and they more people watch them and stuff, I'm gonna be getting a lot of flack for saying chi sao. How can you tell me my chi sao is incorrect? I'm not talking about your chi sao. I'm talking about what you're gonna do with it in a fight. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about how you chi sao in your safe haven. I'm not talking about how much you roll or how much you hit. When you're doing your chi sao, or if you just roll to feel energy. I'm feeling about you're doing your chi sao incorrect at your school when you're using it. When you're just chi saoing, that's all you do. You chi sao, chi sao, chi sao, chi sao. You should be thinking about using your chi sao to escape from struggle, using it to assist your grappling, using it to be effective when going from one transition to another. When people are grappling with you, they've grabbed you, they're trying to hit you and things like that. This is when chi sao is working for you. You simply do not think of it. It just occurs. So you're building up, when you're doing your chi sao practice, think about escaping from things like people grabbing you and using that to attack them. Stop thinking about trying to look great and fast in front of your students or your fellow students, and think about, oh look, the video's on, we've got to make a video for YouTube to make the school look amazing, and so you do yours, the obligatory elbow end, pajan, let's get correct. Oh look, don't I look dynamic? It's not chi sao. Sometimes you could pun sao, just rolling, for 30 minutes. Like one time we did a charity event where we chi sao for 24 hours, and it was like there's a big group of us. And if we all went at it, hammer and tongs, trying to overwhelm each other in the first hour, we wouldn't have been able to continue for 24 hours. So we had to be like gentle and make it a chess game and just feel what's going on and slow it down. Feel what's going on. Actually recognize what your body's doing to adjust to the energy coming towards you. Not just, I got him in a headlock. Ooh, I got him in an elbow smash. I punched him in the fin. I got him. I touched Sifu on his chair. It's not about winning. It's not about... If you got that much ego, you shouldn't be doing chi sao. Chi sao is an exploratory thing. You're training your brain to not react to certain energy and to react to subtle energy. So don't get distracted by being egotistical or inflated view of yourself. It's just, you're not going to get anywhere, and you're going to lose training partners, basically. No one wants to train with someone that wants to make him look stupid. Okay, and no one wants to train with someone who thinks they know it all. Okay, it's an exploration into yourself. When are you going to find out everything about yourself? It's never going to happen. So why are you trying? No, I mean, we should be trying to find out as much as yourself as possible, but to say to yourself, yes, I found out everything, is just delusion, basically. Okay, so that's why I'm saying you're doing your chi sao wrong, and you should be thinking about using it in a struggle, using it to understand. Like, if you could put your hand on someone's shoulder, look, mate, I understand you might be going through some problems right now. Here's my wallet, take the money, do what you want to do, okay? But and you're just feeling for them, right? You get energy even before you touch someone, you know, because once you put something steady out there, you see their body moving. You feel their body moving, even though you haven't touched it. It's a strange thing to say, but fighters know. Okay, you're watching the face more carefully, so you see all those microaggressions. All this is chi sao. You can say it's, you know, body, being curved body, glass head being curved body. Was it being curved body, glass head? Yeah, I think so. But you know, whichever way, I'll get the translation again in a minute once my memory kicks in. So yeah, you feel, and the chi sao is not just for the hands. Obviously, there's chi jerk, there's legs. People don't concentrate enough on what their legs are doing when they're struggling with someone in their hands. You got to have understanding that everything is happening at the same time, and they might have the same idea as you to de-groin them with your knee, or to sweep out their leg with your foot. And chi sao, like the phrase says, is being curved body or being curved head. Yes, glass body, being curved head, I think it. Okay, and but it's with your back. You feel the opponent behind you with your back. People don't understand this. It's a whole body thing. That's why when we grapple on the ground, chi sao happens when your back is to the opponent and you're feeling with your back, and when the person is directly in front of you, pushing you and pulling you, you know. So that's why I'm saying you got to explore your chi sao more in depth, not just be one dimensional. And tournaments, really, I find I don't personally like them. That's me. Some of my students want to go into a tournament, and I say, fill your boots, and I'm like, what are you getting from it? What are you learning from it? When I went into tournaments for fighting, it was to go against someone who knows what they're doing. But for chi sao, you're saying to yourself, the person I have a fight with in the street is going to know chi sao, so my chi sao has to be better than their chi sao, because it's going to be a Wing Chun person I fight with. It's ridiculous. The person that you fight with in the street is not going to be a Wing Chun person unless you attack them and they turn out to be a Wing Chun person, right? Because Wing Chun people don't start fights. What do? We finish them. Thank you. We don't start fights, we finish them. So we're not going to start the fight. We might initiate a fight if there's too many people. The moment needs us to initiate before we get surrounded or something. But nah, we're not starting a fight. So learning to chi sao very well against someone that knows how to chi sao very well is not the point. Chi sao a child. Children, I cheese out with children, the children's class, more than I do in the adults class. But when I'm doing it, it's a fun exercise. They have to try and touch me in my center, and they get a reward for doing it. And because they're less experienced in Chi Sao, they just rush in. They do. But their hands are so light that you have to be very, very careful of breaking them. Don't break children. It's not good. Don't break children. Okay. don't break them. You have to be careful of what you're doing. So you become very skilled in how to manipulate them and move them away from your center, and how to make sure they don't touch you. And they're so fast. This is how my Chi Sao rose above my adult Chi Sao exponents who know what they're doing and know what Chi Sao is about and been practicing for years. This is how I'm faster than them. This is why my Chi Sao, my sensitivity is better, because I Chi Sao with children or very small adults. Okay, one of the fastest persons I've ever had a Chi Sao with is my younger brother, who was like half my size at the time. So it's just ridiculous speed. You know, one of them Bruce Lee style speeds, and I haven't met anyone else that's faster yet. You know, I got fast, but in his application and his accuracy, of course, he was the fastest person I've met so far. So, and my Chi Sao went up hugely. Chi Sao with him, trying to keep up. So, that's why it's getting so much from me. Okay, that's what I'll say on that. Remembering to breathe is number 9. Remember to breathe. Now, it seems like a funny thing to say. The same thing I say in the video. It's a funny thing to say, to remember to breathe. But people hold their breath too much when they fight. Just like when you're a child having a fight in the school playground. You went in all, and then when it's broken up, you're both like, he started it first, it was him, he did it, and why are you so tired? It's because you haven't been breathing, you haven't been controlling your breath, you haven't been worried about your adrenaline spiking, you haven't learned about the adrenaline dump afterwards, you haven't learned to control your emotions. You're breathing too much because you're excited. You're out of control. It's unexpected. No one really, apart from us martial artists, expect to be attacked at any time. So if you're a person that does self-defense classes or a Wing Chun, like a pottery class, twice a week for 2 hours, and you're at tea parties going, oh yes, I'm very in tune with my Wing Chun, you might be very surprised when someone punches you across the face, and you know, your adrenaline will kick off just like every other human being and demand a lot of oxygen. Just like nitrous oxide, what's his nitrous injection cars, when they, you know, Fast and Furious, they, that's your adrenaline going in your body. It makes the car, your engine, your heart, race and pump the blood faster and faster. Blood needs to be oxygenated to supply to muscles. This is a simple thing. Breathe more. Breathe fast, breathe deep, breathe gulps of air. If you breathe in through your nose if you can, so you can clean it properly. That's what your nostrils are for. But again, if you can learn to breathe under pressure, serious pressure for a long period of time in the class, then there's more chance of you being comfortable fighting for more than a minute. Now, you're saying to yourself, a minute? Yeah, because, you know, the fights are 15 seconds. Fights are 20 seconds. They barely get over a minute. It's usually bam, 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 get up, run, run away, stop again, bang, 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 go again, bang, 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 and it's over. Someone's beaten you, or you've beaten them, and they're on their way, or you're on your toes. So it's a thing where it demands a lot. It's like I say, it's like a car crash. It demands a lot from your body, and so the more you can become understand very quickly that you are in a dire situation all of a sudden out of the blue, and to calm your body down, get your emotions under control, get your blood pumping right. You know, when people that are experienced in doing diving, let's call them divers. I like that. Divers. They over oxygenate. They hyperventilate. They is it hyperventilate? Yeah, I don't know. I'll go with that. They hyperventilate. No, I think that's when you're stressed. You hyperventilate. I really need to look up these words before I start to use them like I know what I'm talking about. But you know, these guys, they do a lot of deep breathing before they learn to do free diving, which is like diving without, holding your breath and going as deep as you can. So they do a lot of that. You see them, and they're getting the blood oxygenated. You can't do that before you fight because you don't know when the fight's going to happen. So you have to do it during the fight, when the adrenaline is getting pumped, from your hypothalamus. And afterwards, of course, when you'll be calmer if your oxygen levels have been kept up pretty well. You'll be calmer, and your oxygen dump won't be so severe. Your adrenaline dump, won't be so severe. So if you didn't have to use your adrenaline, even though you know you're getting ready for fight or flight, and your body was getting you ready for fight or flight, and nothing happened, your body will go into adrenaline dump. It's trying to dump it out of the system. That's why a lot of people, some people, I'm not saying a lot, might urinate because your body's getting rid of stuff that it doesn't need anymore. So, like urine. And so people, he's scared. No, it's just adrenaline. It's been, it's getting rid of stuff that it doesn't need. It needs to pump the blood to the right places. You need to oxygenate that blood. So this is why I say in that video, remember to breathe. Right, last one. Number 10, kicks that work. Yeah. Now, we do a lot of kicks in Wing Chun, even though some other systems would say we don't do any kicks. But I worked it out one time that there's 8 kicks in Wing Chun. There's 12 principles and 12 methods. I think that's it. So it's like 1,100 kicks. It's like the lottery. You got 6 numbers. Well, it used to be 6 numbers. I don't know what it is now, but you got 42 numbers, and you got to find 6 on it. So it's like millions of combinations. So if you got lifting, and you got stamping, and you got scooping, and spitting, and swallowing, and blah blah blah, and sweeping, and crushing. I'm not out of adjectives there, but your front push kick, side kick, lifting kick, knee kick, ice and jitbui and gin jerk, one jerk. Oh, you got so many. And you can mix them up. There's no problem mixing them up. But in a fight, which ones are the most effective? And I find the kicks to places like stamping on the shins, kicking into the shins, little toe kick with your shoes into the shins still works. It works for women. It works for men too. Kicks to the groin, obviously. Kicks to places that hurt immediately and have immediate effect are the best kicks to do. And they're usually simple, groin kick, jitbui, straight up into the groin, hard as you can. Lift the person off their feet if you can do it. kicks to the inside knee, you know, stamping on the inside of the knee, straight to the front of the knee as they approach. Step to the side, get out of the way, side kick to the knee, hip kick, because again, if you're this is your body, head. Let's go with head, hips, and feet. If I kick the feet, the head can move. You see what I mean? The head can headbutt you, and you can grab with your hands. If I hit the head, if I control the head with a kick to the head or something, they can still kick. They can still, if I control the shoulders or something, like hold the shoulders so they can't punch me or strike me with their hands, then they can still kick. Okay, but when you kick in the hip, the whole hand, the whole body goes. Do you see what I mean? So it doesn't matter if they're doing this; they're still going away. Okay, so this is why we hit down the center. It's the same principle. This is why we kick to the hip, because the whole body moves. This is why we trap the elbow, because it's the whole arm. This is why we kick on the knee, because you get the whole leg. Okay, so these are the kicks that work. If they work on you, they work on them. Now what you got to do is to stress out the moment that you're practicing it. If you're practicing to kick, stress out the moment. And when you're practicing, always practice. So no matter what the scenario is, we're working in a bus today, we're working sitting down, we're working from standing up, we're working 3-on-1, we're working on 2 people attacking from both sides. Do kicks that go to the immediate thing that is closest to you, which is normally the foot. It's not normally the head. Okay, so thinking about pulling back to balance, to be on center point of your foot to balance on, to kick someone in the head with a lethal question mark kick that you've been practicing in school, is not going to work in a scenario where 2 people are attacking from both sides and they can grab that leg and pull you down to the ground and there's 4 people on top of you. You want to be kicking groins, stamping on knees. You want to be using your hands up here while your kicks are still going. Okay, you want to be throwing the punches and kicking at the same time. Alright, so practice that more. Practice loading up to kick as well as strike at the same time. Do those powerful, snappy kicks while you're throwing hooks, uppercuts, whatever you feel that you slap to the air, whatever you to the ear, not to the air, that you feel is going to help you out. So it's not the kicks that I'm talking about. It's not the side kick or the front push kick is lethal, or the jumping roundhouse or mashigeri or yugeri or or yamegeri, or it's not that I'm talking about. I'm talking about where you kick them, how balanced you are when you kick them, how efficient it is in its result, and how practical it is in this result, and how efficient it is to leave you not winded, not open to attack as much as a high kick would be, and able to still run away after you've done certain damage to people, or even if you get kicked there. Oh yeah, good reminder there. Learn to take kicks, not to you just get abused. I'm talking about how to lift up your knee for protection, and how to make sure your knee is bent before, if someone's looking to do a kick straight to your knee, and that kind of stuff. Always keeping your legs bent, and keep moving and keep yourself low, and keep your guard like covering your knee as part of your guard. Bring your knee up to your elbow and stuff like that, and keep it all crouchy and almost like Thai boxing. But with Wing Chun, we it's only when you get onto I would even say Chum Kyu. I think Bill G, when you start learning how to kick and strike with your hands at the same time. When you get onto the first 2 levels, it's hands because it's boxing. then kicks because we're kicking, and then it's grappling when we get into it. So the striking is done mostly in the first two, okay, and I would say a little wrestling in the second level because you're doing a lot of turning, so using your waist to throw, and when you get to Bill G, it's Bill G, so it's elbows and stuff like that, but your chi sao is at such a level that your chi na and your knowledge of the human being, the body, at that point is exceptional. So it's grappling and learning how to escape more efficiently. So yeah, so when you're learning to take abuse as well correctly, so you don't get injured yourself in a fight, you can still fight on when you've taken a couple of blows, is very, 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 very important. Like I always say to my students, if you can't take what I'm giving, I win. If I can take what you're giving, I win. Doesn't matter about how much Wing Chun. This is why Wing Chun people lose in fights, because they can't take a punch. They have never experienced a fight. They've never been in a proper sparring session where there's barely any coverage with sponges on their head and sponges on their fist, and it's very difficult to get that kind of sparring. But I just happen to have the upbringing and the environment I was growing up in, and the security job for 30 odd years that got me a lot of experience and endurance practice. Should I say not endurance? I would say more about toughness. Yeah, durability. Yeah, practice. So you put yourself through the punishment so you don't get. This is why Thai boxers, they toughen up the places that they're going to hit with. But again, the place where their opponent is aiming for needs to be trained too. So that's your chin, that's your stomach, that's your groin. Yeah, I said it. Your groin needs to be kicked regularly. No, get yourself to a point where you're ready for a kick when it happens. Put pads on. Like I said, it's not good to talk about this. I know us men don't like to talk about it, but get yourself to that point and earn yourself some durability points, so you feel more confident when you walk in the street. Once you look more confident, you will feel more confident. Your attitude affects your behavior. Once you are becoming more confident, you will strut more confidently, and therefore less people will see you as the person that is open to an attack. They'll see you as, that's not the one. Okay, that is what these updates are for. I want to make sure that the society I'm living in is protected and strong and confident, so my children's children don't have to worry about where they're growing up so much. They'll be aware, they'll be ready, but they won't have to be so worried that it's going to be happening in their time as well as my time, which is the bad times. We're in the bad times. Our children are supposed to grow up in the good times. Yeah, that's okay. So I'll see you next week for the next 5. We're currently on 30 at the moment, I think 30. So we've covered 10 so far. If you want to find out before that, then all my videos I've ever done, including all the way up to 30, with the update ones, are on Patreon and will be on Twitch. And so you can subscribe on YouTube and to get access to those and to the live streams when they're happening, because in the future only the people that are paying to see that stuff get to see it first and get to ask me questions and to advertise and to do stuff that these platforms are made to do. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay, I'm just doing this because I love my Wing Chun, so you know, benefits come, they come, right? So if you like what I'm doing, subscribe, do become a member, become someone that wants to get involved in learning, and obviously you can hit me up on Facebook, Twitter at Seafood Blaps. It's all good, people. So yeah, I think that's about it. I want it to be safe. Jolan Shu. If you don't know what that means, that's what Google's made for. Have peace, people.